Welcome to the CISO Daily Update.
Car dealership company AutoNation says CDK ransomware incident cut into quarterly earnings. AutoNation's July 31st quarterly earnings report will show a hit impacting profits by about $1.50 per share, or approximately a third less than forecast, due to a ransomware attack on software provider CDK Global. Despite the impact, AutoNation's stock rose by over 3%. The attack began on June 19th and forced dealerships offline. Full restoration is expected by the end of July. The incident led to guaranteed compensation costs for retaining commission-based associates and lost sales. AutoNation doesn't foresee a long-term financial impact. Virginia Elections Department dismisses data breach claims. The Virginia Department of Elections dismissed claims of a data breach affecting election candidates' information. The department clarified that the allegedly leaked dataset containing details of 65,000 election candidate records is actually publicly available information scraped from their official website. Despite multiple claims by threat actors on hacker forums about compromised data, including data like timestamps, usernames, and voting method details, the department's spokesperson confirmed that no breaches or data compromises have been detected. The data in question, which includes candidate IDs, names, vote counts, and other election-related information from the 2023 November general and special elections, is already accessible on the department's website under Election Reports/Results. Virginia Department of Elections continues to work with local, state, and federal partners to ensure the security of election infrastructure. Massive data sale in history. 2 billion rows, 122 gigabytes, 361 million emails and passwords for just $500. A data breach resulted in the sale of 122 gigabytes of stolen data containing 361 million unique email, username, and password combinations for just $500 on Telegram. The dataset was sourced from various cyber attacks and includes sensitive information from major platforms like Gmail, Facebook, and PayPal. This breach exposes risks such as financial theft, identity theft, and widespread account takeovers. Users are urged to change passwords, enable two-factor authentication, use unique passwords, monitor for suspicious activity, and beware of phishing attempts to mitigate potential damage. Email addresses of 15 million Trello users leaked on Hacking Forum. The recent leak of over 15 million Trello user email addresses involved an unsecured REST API that allowed unauthorized access to user data. The threat actor, known as Emo, exploited this API to systematically collect profiles by querying a massive list of email addresses against Trello's database. While most of the leaked data consists of publicly available information, each profile also includes a non-public email address, enabling targeted phishing and doxing attacks. Atlassian, the owner of Trello, has since secured the API to prevent further unauthorized access. Kaspersky leaves U.S. market following the ban on the sale of its software in the country. Kaspersky is exiting the U.S. market following a ban on its software sales by the Commerce Department due to national security concerns. The ban is effective July 20, 2024, and stems from fears of Kremlin influence on the company that potentially enables data theft or malware spread. The ban includes trade restrictions, impacting Kaspersky's business in the U.S. and potentially other Western nations. Kaspersky will cease U.S. operations and lay off less than 50 employees. They advise customers to switch to alternative cybersecurity solutions. New Jellyfish loader threat discovered. Advanced techniques for system infiltration. The newly discovered Jellyfish loader malware by Cybal Research uses advanced .NET-based techniques to infiltrate systems, collect data, and communicate with its command and control server. This sophisticated malware disguises itself as a harmless Windows shortcut and employs various methods to evade detection and execute malicious payloads. To combat this threat, Cryo recommends implementing advanced antivirus solutions, network segmentation, application allow listing, and SSL/TLS inspection to detect and prevent malicious activities. Konfety ad fraud uses more than 250 Google Play Decoy apps to hide malicious twins. A sophisticated ad fraud operation dubbed Konfety was uncovered, exploiting over 250 decoy apps on Google Play Store to hide malicious twin versions. The campaign is linked to a Russian ad network and uses evil twin apps that mimic legitimate decoy twin apps to facilitate ad fraud, monitor web searches, and install malware. These malicious apps are distributed through malvertising campaigns that trick users into downloading them. The operation makes it challenging to distinguish fraudulent traffic from legitimate, with the campaign reaching 10 billion requests per day at its peak. Konfety's malware can serve out-of-context ads, monitor user searches, and sideload modified advertising SDKs. CISA adds OSGeo GeoServer GeoTools bug to its known exploited vulnerabilities catalog. CISA added the high-severity OSGeo GeoServer GeoTools eval injection vulnerability, CVE 2024-36401, to its known exploited vulnerabilities catalog. This flaw allows remote code execution due to unsafe evaluation of property names as XPath expressions, impacting GeoServer versions before 2.23.6, 2.24.4, and 2.25.2. CISA mandates federal agencies to patch this vulnerability by August 5, 2024, while private organizations are also advised to address this critical issue to protect their networks from potential exploitation. Microsoft finally fixes Outlook alerts bug caused by December updates. Microsoft resolved a bug in Outlook Desktop that caused erroneous security alerts following December updates. Initially acknowledged in February, the bug was related to security patches for an information disclosure vulnerability, CVE 2023-35636, that could lead to NTLM hash theft and pass-the-hash attacks. The issue was fixed in the July 9th update, and users who applied temporary registry key workarounds should remove them to ensure the fix is applied. Microsoft also plans to deprecate basic authentication for personal email accounts by September 16th and had previously addressed a bug affecting encrypted email replies in Outlook Desktop. Apache HugeGraph-Server RCE vulnerability under active attack. A critical remote code execution vulnerability, CVE 2024-27348, in Apache HugeGraph-Server versions 1.00 to 1.3.0 is under active exploitation. The flaw, with a CVSS score of 9.8, allows unauthenticated attackers to execute arbitrary OS commands on vulnerable servers. Exploitation attempts targeting the Gremlin endpoint have been observed, and public proof-of-concept code has increased the risk. Users are urgently advised to upgrade to version 1.3.0 or later, switch to Java 11, enable authentication, and implement IP allow listing. This vulnerability potentially enables data theft, network infiltration, and ransomware deployment. Void Banshee APT exploits Microsoft zero-day and spear-phishing attacks. The Void Banshee APT group is exploiting the CVE 2024-38112 zero-day vulnerability using a defunct Internet Explorer to distribute the Atlantida Stealer via spear-phishing emails containing malicious PDFs. These attacks target professionals and students by masquerading as reference materials. The Stealer collects sensitive data from various applications and sends it to an attacker-controlled server. Organizations should patch the flaw and engage in advanced threat intelligence to mitigate risks from outdated and unsupported software components like IE. Half of SMEs unprepared for cyber threats. A recent JumpCloud survey reveals that nearly half of SME IT teams feel unprepared for cyber threats due to resource constraints, with 49% experiencing layoffs. The study highlights the growing security challenges faced by SMEs, as 45% suffered cyber attacks in early 2024. Shadow IT emerges as a significant concern, with 84% of respondents worried about unauthorized applications and device usage. Despite these challenges, SMEs are increasingly embracing AI, with 35% planning initiatives within 6 months. However, 61% believe AI is outpacing their ability to protect against threats, and 25% have already experienced AI-generated attacks. Talk security, not tech. Ivanti study urges CISOs to educate leaders on AI risks. Ivanti study highlights a significant cybersecurity knowledge gap between IT professionals and non-IT leaders, emphasizing the critical role of CISOs in educating executives on AI risks. Despite advancements, many organizations lack a documented strategy to address AI-driven threats. The report calls for improved communication between CISOs and senior executives to align risk management strategies and enhance organizational resilience against emerging cyber threats. Effective CISO-led education and strategy integration are essential to bridge this gap and ensure robust cybersecurity frameworks. The Linux Foundation, an OpenSSF release report on the state of education in secure software development. The Linux Foundation and OpenSSF's new report on secure software development education reveals significant gaps in developer security knowledge, with nearly one-third feeling unfamiliar with secure practices. Key findings highlight reliance on-the-job experience, lack of time and awareness as major challenges, and the prevalence of self-directed learning. The report emphasizes the urgent need for formalized industry education, prompting OpenSSF to plan a new course on security architecture. With AI and supply chain security identified as critical future areas, the Foundation encourages developers to utilize their free resources to address the knowledge gap and enhance overall software security in response to increasing vulnerabilities and cyber threats.
Thanks for listening. Remember to subscribe to our newsletter at CISOheadlines.com. Until next time, stay curious.